CM Punk got screwed at SummerSlam 2011, but that doesn't mean that you should be too. If your dong needs a push, get Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the chewable tablet that helps you have better sex. To get more information on Blue Chew, check out the link in the description box below. But now let's go ahead and get to SummerSlam 2011. So I have been incredibly excited to talk about this SummerSlam because there's a whole lot to get into for this one. I got things to share. I got so much on this episode. Let's get to it. So first and foremost, here we go. Time for a blast from the past. Here is my ticket stub for SummerSlam 2011. And this time here, I was sitting, let's see where I was at, PR18, and the tickets were $50. But I have to tell you guys that the craziest thing happened to me at the show. Divine intervention. How many of you here believe in destiny? Please, honestly, let me know in the comments because the story I'm about to share is kind of crazy. At least I think it is. So, real talk. I may be sharing a lot of information here, but at this time in 2011, I had broken up with my boyfriend who is currently my husband right now. But we had broken up. And I went to SummerSlam with my uncle and my aunt. They purchased the tickets. I had no idea where we were going to be sitting or anything. My ex-boyfriend at the time, my now husband, also went to the show. And he also did not purchase the tickets. In fact, his mom and his dad purchased the tickets for him as a gift for his birthday. So they bought him a ticket for his birthday. And then I went with my family to go watch SummerSlam. And keep in mind, they don't know each other. The families do not know each other at all. And we had broken up. Not a lot of people, I think, even knew that we were dating. Actually, they did not even know we were dating. We were sort of keeping low. And so the craziest thing happened. I showed up and you will see here that I was seat number 2. And you will not believe whose seat number 1 was. It ended up being my ex-boyfriend, my current husband. And he sat next to me. And I just kept thinking, and we talk about it to this day, how crazy it was that we were broken up, yet we still ended up sitting in the exact same row right next to each other. And I feel like that was a sign from God or something. I'm going to take it as a sign from God because everything worked out very lovely. We got back together shortly after and we lived happily ever after. But it's just crazy to think that out of all of the people that attended SummerSlam, I didn't even purchase my own ticket and I ended up sitting next to him. So guys, divine intervention, destiny, it works, guys, even in pro wrestling. You just never know what the hell is going to happen. I should probably frame this. Anyway, so I just had a good experience. And also, I went back down memory box too. On top of that story, I found some little posts that I wanted to share from this time period because I found my picture that I posted right before heading off to SummerSlam 2011. I posted on Facebook a photo of myself in my CM Punk shirt saying, on my way to SummerSlam, and I'm wearing my new CM Punk shirt, let's go Punky. Yeah, that's literally what I used to call CM Punk because back in the day, I had like a massive crush on him. And here's the thing too, guys, that same time period, a couple days before SummerSlam, August 12th, 2011, 2 days beforehand, I had met CM Punk for the very first time at Hot Topic in Hollywood. And there I am freaking out, meeting CM Punk. Now, you should know I don't technically have a photo with him because this kind of sucked, but they didn't allow pictures with the wrestlers. Like, you could take a picture while you're meeting the wrestler, but you couldn't actually stand next to the wrestler and pose and get the picture. And so here's CM Punk looking at my full-size cutout board of him. And he actually made a really hilarious joke, which is why I'm crouching and laughing and fangirling, because he had said, are those lipstick marks that I see, or lip gloss marks that I see? And I was so embarrassed. I just started giggling. And you could even see the guy, the security guy, is like laughing so hard. The guy with the black t-shirt, you can see him laughing because I am literally fangirling here, guys. I'm like, oh my God, the works, guys, the works. This is so embarrassing. And so yeah, I went from like total fangirl to like total professional now because you don't see me do that in my interviews. I mean, obviously I'm happy and I'm chill and I'm like, yeah, whatever, right? But I'm not like, oh. Like I was in this photo. I jumped, I squealed. I mean, total fangirl moment, guys. And then I also found some other Facebook posts. What did I write here? I put my SummerSlam weekend begins today. Day 1, CM Punk signing. Day 2, fan access. Day 3, WWE SummerSlam. Day 4, I went to Raw in San Diego. I completely forgot I was at Raw in San Diego. I probably have my ticket stubborn too, but I didn't even bother to look for it. So yeah, that was kind of what was going on in my life in 2011. But now let's go ahead and get into the actual show. Now, this is complicated because I feel like this was a really good show, but with such a terrible freaking ending. So I'm going to get to the ending of this SummerSlam first and foremost, because that's the biggest thing to talk about right here. Oh, there's a lot to talk about. So the match that we need to kick things off with is the main event, and that was CM Punk defeating John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship, but with Triple H as a special guest referee. Now, just to kind of recap a little bit here, CM Punk had just done the pipe bomb. CM Punk was probably the hottest he had ever been in WWE, all right? But the crowd was definitely torn here. I mean, we were seeing people chant for CM Punk. We were seeing people chant for John Cena. Of course, I was chanting for CM Punk. And dude, literally everybody in the crowd had the exact same t-shirt that I did, which was this one here, all over. If you guys go back and watch this, you will see how many people in the crowd were wearing that t-shirt. I can almost guarantee right now, all those people that you see in white, all of them had that CM Punk t-shirt. I was noticing that as I was watching this back. So the finish, we need to get right into it. Let's not bullshit or take any time away from any of this. So CM Punk hits the GTS. Triple H counted the 3, but as you can see in this photo, Cena's foot was on the ropes. And you're thinking, oh my God, this is how they're going to have CM Punk win? That was red flag number 1, guys. In this, I mean, there was a lot of red flags, but let's be real, there was a lot of them. But just for the sake of what I'm talking about right now, this was a red flag right here that they basically made it seem like Triple H did not see. And so he counts the 3 and CM Punk gets the win in a kind of a shitty freaking way, right? So after he wins this match and defeats John Cena, he gets his hand raised by Triple H. But then the worst, and I mean worst thing happens. The worst thing happens. Kevin Nash comes out and lays out CM Punk. This was the hottest CM Punk had been, and they killed his momentum at the hands of a guy who said he looked like a short order cook. Then it gets worse. Alberto, who is the Money in the Bank briefcase winner, comes in and successfully cashes in against CM Punk. This was the biggest BS I have ever seen in my entire life. I remember being so effing disappointed. And if this going back and watching was just a reminder of how dirty WWE did CM Punk here, guys. Like legit, they did him dirty. I don't know if they thought because Alberto was going to be over in LA or what the hell they thought, but it basically told us and told everybody that they did not believe in CM Punk. And CM Punk was supposed to face Kevin Nash the following month, but apparently Kevin Nash couldn't wrestle due to some medical reasons. So Triple H replaced Nash, beat CM Punk clean, and killed his push. So freaking depressing, guys. It was depressing then. It was depressing now. Oh, why did they do that? It's the shits. It's the shits, guys. The shits. Sorry, I don't get frustrated about many things, but let me tell you, that is one thing that always just, wow, you really did that, guys. You really did that. Look at me. I was so excited to go see CM Punk. I had just met the guy. Look at me. I'm freaking out. I go and I'm in the crowd for that. Oh my God. So I gotta be real. Even though I enjoyed SummerSlam 2011, this is gonna dock off a lot of points off of this show. But with that being said, the rest of the card was pretty good. So let's go ahead and get into all of that. The opening match saw a 6-man tag team match with Kofi Kingston, John Morrison, Rey Mysterio defeating The Miz, R-Truth, and Alberto Del Rio. This was a very, very fun, guys. And I was a fan of Alberto back at the time because I felt like he was also representation. For me being a Latino was definitely representation. Kofi Kingston, I want to give him some love, guys, because I feel like Kofi Kingston, no matter what kind of match he's in, singles, tag, multi-man, whatever the hell he's in, he is always the person who delivers. All right, the next highlight is Mark Henry defeating Sheamus. And let me tell you, I feel like this was one of Mark Henry's best SummerSlam matches. Definitely up until this point, I thought he did so freaking good here because they were basically telling the story that he had gone out there and been like such a bully, right? Because he had previously taken out guys like The Big Show and Kane. And it was funny too because commentary argued that he wasn't a bully because he was fighting guys that were really large, but they were basically really building Mark Henry as indestructible. And the only person who wasn't afraid to wrestle him was Sheamus. And that's essentially how we ended up in this match here. But I really just love seeing Mark Henry absolutely kick Sheamus's butt. I really felt like they actually let Mark Henry show what he can do. And there was a really awesome moment where we see Mark drive Sheamus through the barricade. And so we end up seeing Mark Henry win via countout. But I really did think that the barricade spot justified the countout and made Mark Henry look like a badass. So I loved this match. Moving on to the next highlight. We also got to see a match between Wade Barrett and Daniel Bryan here. At Money in the Bank, basically what happened was Bryan Danielson had knocked down Wade off of the ladder and won the Money in the Bank briefcase. And then, of course, we spoke about this at the SummerSlam 2010 video where we talked about Daniel Bryan having been a previous member of the Nexus, but when he got fired and came back, he joined Team WWE. So you also have that part of the history in here. But we get this match, and this match was good because, of course, Bryan Danielson does not have bad matches whatsoever. And even though we see Wade Barrett get the victory here with the Wasteland, the finish didn't really feel like a strong finish to me. I'm sure they could have still gone a whole lot more, but it wasn't terrible. The one thing that I always do forget, though, is how mean commentary was to Daniel Bryan. Like, even in last year's SummerSlam, I noticed how, like, just some of the things they would say about him, they always found like ways to bury him that were just different than ways that they buried other people. But like they were calling him a nerd, saying that he was inexperienced, saying that last year and this year. Of course, we all know, Daniel Bryan's whole history with WWE, but sometimes, you forget a little bit. And we also saw a match between Randy Orton and Christian in a no-holds-barred match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And prior to this, we saw Christian bring out Edge. Christian had won the title by DQ, so Edge basically went out there and said that his best friend had become a crying, moaning little bitch. And as you guys recall, Edge had retired the night after Mania that year. And so during this match, though, this was pretty good. I did like what we saw here. They fight on the outside, but he ends up hitting Christian with a RKO on the commentary table, which is really cool. Christian then hit the kill switch on Randy. And I thought there was a really close 3 count. I thought it was a 3 count, but it wasn't. Eventually, Christian gets put through a table, and we kind of see a little bit of everything. Wrestling, violence. Randy then puts him through a table again, and then finally we see him do a DDT into the trash bin. I thought that was sick. Finally, the RKO on the steel steps for the finish, and he wins the title. I thought this was better than any of the matches that he had had prior with John Cena at the SummerSlams that we were talking about. Sorry, not sorry. I thought his match with Christian was way better. So shout out to them for this match. And the last and final highlight that I do want to go ahead and mention is the Divas Championship match that we saw with Kelly Kelly defeating Beth Phoenix. And the reason why I wanted to bring up this match is because I feel like I've never really given Kelly Kelly any credit. And I feel like watching this match, she wasn't terrible. I mean, she went out there and she moved faster than I remembered. She was pretty spunky in the ring, and I never really noticed until now. And And so I did kind of feel like she deserves a little bit more credit. I feel like sometimes you just think of Kelly for being really good looking, and you kind of forget that she was, she could hang in the ring. The finish was good. Beth went for her finish. Kelly countered it with a roll up and won this matchup. So yeah, I gotta give her some love. And also, there was a really funny moment during commentary because, as you can see, Beth Phoenix is wearing turquoise here. Well, during commentary, Booker T mentioned how Beth is wearing turquoise blue. And Michael Cole goes, turquoise is a color. You don't actually have to say turquoise blue. And then Booker T was like, yeah, sometimes people need to elaborate on that. And it was so funny. It was just like a random little thing that I thought was hilarious. But anyways, there you go. That was SummerSlam 2011. Now let's go ahead and get into these ratings. All right, so because the ending was so messed up, I absolutely refuse to give best match to CM Punk and John Cena. Unfortunately, I'm just too angry about what unfolded, so I'm giving best match to Randy Orton versus Christian. And even though the body of the match itself didn't suck, I'm gonna have to give worst match over to CM Punk and John Cena only for this horrific ending that we saw in this matchup here, because they really did do CM Punk absolutely dirty. And that is the only reason I'm giving it worst match. And as for MVP, I'm giving it to CM Punk for putting up with that terrible booking. And in terms of the actual rating of the show, I definitely thought that this pay-per-view was stronger than anything they've had since 2005. 2005 was the last one that I really enjoyed. Again, because of that ending to what they did with CM Punk, I had to dock off some points. But I'm giving this one a rating of 9 out of 13. I do think had we had a happy ending with CM Punk, I would have probably given this pay-per-view either a 12 or a 13. So I definitely did dock off some points due to that terrible finish. So there you go. SummerSlam 2011 is in the books. Let me know what you guys thought of SummerSlam 2011 in the comment section below. And as always, I will be back once again tomorrow with another SummerSlam Rewind video this entire month. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys on the next one.